Hello, for the 22nd Sunday in Ordinary Time, using the first reading from Deuteronomy 4, verses 1 to 2, and verses 6 to 8. And the Gospel Mark 7, 1 to 8, 15, and 21 to 27. And I sort of titled this just Jesus, Insane, Lawbreaker, Out of His Mind. They certainly accused Jesus of all the above. In Mark's Gospel 3, 20, 21, his relatives said he's out of his mind. The scribes said he is possessed by Beelzebul. Why, he drives out demons by the prince of demons, Beelzebul. John 10, 20. He is possessed and out of his mind. Why listen to him? So the scribes and the Pharisees, and often they accuse Jesus of all this stuff. They're threatened. And so they threaten him back. They look at Jesus and say, why do your disciples not wash their hands before they eat? The tradition says, the law says, you don't eat your dinner or eat your supper without washing your hands in the ritual way that it is done in our society. Why don't they follow the law? They're always on following the law. They think they follow the law, and then absolutely they're just the greatest people on the face of the earth. That's not where Jesus is coming from. The scribes and the Pharisees and the attackers, of Jesus, or the people he threatened, they never accused of him being too loving or being too compassionate or being too forgiving, etc., etc., etc. And then when they accuse all these people, accuse him, he gets upset. And he tells them a thing or two about the washing of your hands and making sure you just walk so many steps on the Sabbath. And just so that you make sure you give the right tithing to the temple taxes and so forth. He says, you're missing the point. That's not what it's all about. It's all about internal. And so you're worried about all these external laws, and why don't you get more connected with the internal? Where evil comes from is inside. It's internal. It's in you. It's what you think and what you want to do, which is in your heart. That's where a person decides thievery or theft. I want the money. That's crazy. Murder. I can't stand you. I want you dead. DEAD. I want to take that woman or that man for me internally. She belongs to me. Greed. I love money. I want to have as much money as anybody in the world. I mean, isn't that one of the things? Who's the richest person in the world? You'd think these guys, he, she, they got it totally made and are totally saved and are totally great. I guarantee you, that's not the mind of Jesus, who is trying to teach us the mind of God. Deceit comes from inside the heart and the mind. I will make them think this when really I am that. So Jesus is never accused of being too loving or too compassionate. And Jesus is trying to say, that's what the Father wants me to tell you. And you're to be loving, compassionate, and forgiving. You're supposed to love yourself. You're supposed to love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. And you're so supposed to, I'm trying to show you the way to live. And I want you to live not only according to the world's mentality, the world has many statements, absolutes, doctrines, traditions. Well, they're not all bad, but that's not the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is inside you, inside me, and how I think, and how I act, and how I treat other people. It's the same old, but we seem never to get it. The scribes and the Pharisees seem to be always interested in the outside. Another time he says, that you all are interested in the outside of the cup and you make it so beautiful and you decorate it and it just sparkles and it's so clean. But the inside of the cup is filled with dirt and wrong and evil. That same thing can happen to me or to you or to us. Jesus wants us to live by the Spirit, or you could say the Spirit of God, or the Spirit of the Father that he does often. The Father sent me so that you may have tender hearts, compassionate hearts, forgiving hearts, helping hearts. I'm sorry, it's the same old, but we seem to never get it right, do we? When you can accuse another person of being out of their mind, your relatives, or accuse of the other person of, as far as breaking the law, when the law has to do with the external realities, and you're only concerned about external realities, you're a far cry from the message of Jesus. The good news is the internal plus the external, or try to internally make the external what is inside. And that is the message of his Father. Do you ever, your lifestyle, accuse Jesus of, you're out of your mind? This is crazy that you're trying to teach me to do this, or ask me to do this, or tell me to do this. The bottom line of the commandments is to do the will of the Father. That's what Moses was trying to do. But the people only took the external part. And as long as they could do and camouflage the external part, they were happy. But Jesus would challenge them. No wonder they challenged him, because he challenged them. And he challenges me, and he challenges you. He's out of his mind. He breaks the law himself. Good to think about.